Hello and welcome to day 19 of my 30-day 3D modeling challenge. Today I rolled a ring. A normal ring. uh, Could have just been a torus with a gold material on top of it, but in order for that to not be that easy, I decided to just look up a fairly decorated diamond ring. I think it's diamond. I don't really care. But yeah, the reference had a decent, balanced amount of detail. There were other rings that were like fucking crazy. um, I hate rings, by the way. Not modeling, like rings in general. When I was a kid, I had well, not really a kid. I think I was a teenager. I tried a one of these weird double rings that had like a very big cross on it. It looked really cool. Uh, it wasn't mine. It was my ex, and I tried it on, and it did not come off. It did like, and the more I pulled, the more stuck it got. Until I basically panicked, and we had to call. Yeah, we had to. I had to get driven to the emergency and have it cut off. And they said that they did say that, well, if the ring would have been on like for at least less than an hour longer, we would have had to amputate your finger. And since then, I am never wearing any rings whatsoever. If I against all odds get married or get like a ring, a proper ring, I'm not wearing it. I can have it like as a necklace for symbolic purposes, but there's no fucking way I'm gonna wear a ring around my fingers. I think no, it's not for me. My fingers are too uneven, too crooked. I think I don't know. I just feel like the joint parts of my fingers are just so much thicker than than the limb parts of my fingers. Because once the ring passes the first knuckle threshold or second knuckle threshold, then it's just gonna end up in the more hollow part, thinner part of my finger, and not and be hanging, sort of spinning loose, hanging, but the knuckle will be too thick to pull it out, and that's just yeah. I don't know. I'm sure a few people have it like that, but since so many people insist on wearing rings, I just assume that that's not the norm because I've never met anyone who has had this problem, the same problem I have. Uh, but yeah, it's I fucking hate rings, man. They're a weird piece of jewelry, I think. I prefer gloves, honestly, or gauntlet, like a nice jeweled, ornamented piece of armor. That would be really fucking cool, but maybe a bit much for today's day and age. But yeah, the ring was pretty interesting. I managed to break the mesh quite a few times on a few places, but it's not very apparent, so I like decided not to dwell too much on that. You will notice that there's a few. There's gonna be a few misses of overlapping geometry and problems with the mesh, but I don't think it really. In this case, it really didn't matter because it didn't affect the main overall look of the ring. It still turned out more than fine, I would say. The sun is gone today. Today it has been a very cloudy day. Still pretty hot though. I hope it's not gonna rain because I'm really want to go out there and practice a bit of flow arts. I just recently started to practice the dragon staff. It's called dragon staff because it's cool, but it's actually the dragon part actually stands for drag on because you literally spin it by letting it roll on top of your arms endlessly. Well, not just your arms, your whole body. It's a contact flow, so much like the contact staff, you just let it roll on top of your body as you adjust your body to make it roll seamlessly and transition between different tricks. One thing I could have perhaps made better with this mesh was probably the fact, like the diamond part, maybe, because the diamond has like a ton of detail on the inside. It's like I don't know how they do it. Maybe they just enclose it inside another diamond or something. I don't know. I have no idea how jewelry like that is made. But when there's like this geometry inside the diamond, and one way to do that is to just maybe duplicate the diamond part and have it sit inside the outer part of the diamond and have them reflect off of each other with a transparent material, maybe. That's probably what I would have done different. I'm not doing that for material. This is just one block that has a very, very reflective and metallic. Yeah, here. This is where I've like noticed, like, oh fuck, I'm breaking the fuck out of this model. These weird edges that are just not. They're not good. This is not good. This is not. This is not optimal performance, but it wasn't that bad. It could be worse. It's not nothing too hard to cover. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. This is these. Yeah, see, this it becomes way more apparent when I'm doing the seam cutting. Yeah, the seam cutting is always like the trial, the final trial of your mesh to see how good it actually holds up, how well it holds up. But in this case, I don't think it mattered that much. Honestly, I think I it was easy to work around it, and also those outsticking parts can serve as like a because something has to hold the diamond together, like into the the keep the diamond enmeshed with the golden ring frame, whatever. Holder? Holder. It was it wasn't so bad anyway. I probably should have like made the stones, the smaller stones, along the diamond, the smaller ones. I probably could have made them a little bit more detailed, but I think it looks good to let them. I think it looks better that way. Just have them like just be basic hexagonal. I think they're they're hexagonal shape. Hexahedrons, maybe. I'll look that up, actually. What's a hexahedron? A hexahedron is literally a cube. That's not what I meant. Yeah, they're hexagon shapes. I believe many tactical RPG tabletop games have used those as terrain differing pieces. Because it's such a simple shape that can make a lot of variety in terms of design. Simple but straightforward design, you know, and it's also like it can create this illusion of just cubes, because that's what a hexagon essentially is. It's a cube from an isometric perspective. That's what makes a hexahedron. Yes, I'm just separating the parts in the UV so that mostly so that it's easier to look at it. But I don't want the islands to be too close to each other, because I know that in some Substance Painter, for some reason, sometimes just decides to let the brush affect any other islands if it is too close to the next part or whatever it is. That's something I feel like they should work harder on getting fixed, because I really don't think that's supposed to happen. Or maybe I'm just working at a too low resolution. I always make these materials at a 2K resolution. Just because I don't want to fill my computer with gigantic materials that are not even going to be used for anything other than this in like a year. Textures take a whole bunch of space, especially high resolution textures. It is a fact that several smaller textures on one model is way more space efficient than having one big texture for that entire model. It is super counterintuitive, but that's the way it works. The more pixels, the more exponentially larger the space of the file becomes. The size of the file becomes. That's why when you like download a model from the models resource, for instance, you can see that the OBJ file has like 7 or 8 separate textures that are very small, but yeah, there's quite a lot of them, and they all are just different parts of the mesh. It's all about balancing usability as well, because maybe sometimes, yeah, in my opinion, for instance, it's almost worth it to have a larger texture for one mesh. Like the more of the model that you can, the more of the materials that you can cover in one single UV, the better, because it's just easier to work with rather than as opposed to having to assign each different material to which part it's supposed to have. This was fun. This is always fun just to make out the little details on the mesh. But I could have added a little bit more geometry on the hollowed out parts of the ring, the golden parts. Ooh, sorry. Uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. But it still looks good. It's still fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the material is almost done. Pretty simple. The mesh itself took 58 minutes to make, and the material itself just took 17 minutes. So all in all, yeah, 1 hour and 20 minutes or something like that. Uh, Here I just I took some slight creative freedom doing the darker line along the, yeah, the one that I'm doing now. It's just like that wasn't on the reference, but I felt like it was too empty there, so I just felt like maybe making a hollowing of the hollowed out line along the edge sides of the ring, just to make it more detailed. You can make a shit ton of detail on a ring like this. Uh, I should figure out de-sharpen the how to get rid of the sharp edges that always turn up when I'm making the polygon fill. Yeah, you see the pixelated edges. I should get around to learning how to make it not do that. Maybe there's like a, yeah, there is a smudge option, but I don't think that's gonna help me. I would like to just smooth those sharp edges out a little bit, just so that it doesn't look so obviously pixelated, you know? But maybe you could just fix that in post. Like once you've exported the material, fix it in Photoshop. Alright, thank you so much for watching. That was the ring, and thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.